All right, and we're back. Today's video, we're going to see if we can install the saddlebag guards to the Sport Glide. So hopefully everything will go smooth, but we'll see because, you know, Murphy's Law and all that. All right, with that said, first thing we got to do, we have to remove the saddlebag. And if you own one of these bikes, I don't think I really need to show you much on how to remove them. Relatively easy. So, you know, unlock it and just pop it back and off it'll come. All right. Now, next order of business. Now that we got that, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Yeah, that ain't gonna quite work, but there we go. Okay. So, next thing we have to do is remove the foot peg. All right. That can be somewhat of a challenge. All right, because first off, you have a clip you got to pull, which is easy. You got to pop this out. But inside the mount, there is a spring with a ball bearing. And that's what locks the pegs in place, up and down. There's two positions on it. All right, so you have to be extremely careful when you take that off. All right, so once you pull the peg and you start pulling or pull the pin and pull the foot peg out, the spring-loaded ball's there, and it's a very heavy spring. All right, and we definitely don't want to lose that ball. So, first thing we're going to do is, let me pivot you down a little more. That way you can see what the heck I'm doing, and we'll position you here. All right, first thing I'm going to do is remove the clip. And let me get some needle nose pliers for that, I believe. Find where the heck they're at. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, there they are. I knew I had them. And then let me grab the hook. Alright, so let me grab my favorite little flathead screwdriver. All right, here we go. All right, so first thing we're going to do, remove the clip. See if we can get a hold of it with this. Pop it off. And that didn't work too well. Let's try again. Like I said, I don't want to lose this clip, so I don't think I have any spares. I might, but I'm not sure. All right. Here's our clip. So we got that off. Put it in a safe place. All right, now we're going to pop the pin. Okay, you guys can see that, I'm hoping. Right there, okay, push it and pull it out the other side. Get the needle nose on that. Grab it, something to grab it with. My little screwdriver, maybe? Yeah, there we go. Got to get it out enough to where you can grab the head of it. And then you can wiggle the peg up and down. All right, there's the pin. Now, fun part again. Spring-loaded ball in here. So you want to try to hold that, if you can, next to impossible. So what I'm going to do is, let me get one of my cleaning rags. I'm going to try to see if I can wrap this around and then try to trap the ball inside. All right, and we're going to carefully pull it out till it pops, like so. Now, we should have our, yep, there it is. Okay, and I'll show it to you. All right, one spring, one ball bearing, okay? So you have to be so careful. See, there's the hole that everything goes together in, all right? See, right here? This all goes in this whole spring and then the ball bearing on top. So that's that part of it. Now, we'll move on to the next part. We have to get this clip out because we got to be able to get in there with a long T45. And if you're doing this job, remember, you're going to have a long set of T45s like that because you got to get all the way in there to get to that Torx bed. All right? And then when it goes back together, you need a long Allen head. Pretty sure it's metric. I'll have to look, but they come with Allen head bolts. So you need an Allen head, so again, because it's got to go all the way inside there. Or if you got a real narrow socket that'll fit, you can take a chance with that. But I prefer using the long ones. All right, so next order of business, we got to get this clip out. This is what actually the peg mounts into. So we'll see if we can get a hold of it here and pull this out. Okay. I can see that's going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt because there's actually nowhere to grab it. So, see if I can use my little screwdriver here and get in this corner. There we go. Right towards the back, there's a little spot, and this little screwdriver fit in perfectly. All right, so let's get this out. Carefully. Come on. And there's the clip. All right, now move on to the next order of business. Going to be our T45. Again, this goes all the way in. Actually, it doesn't go in that deep. I guess the bolts are that long. Wow, look at that. So that actually didn't go that deep, but I don't think my regular T45 would fit that. But let's find out just for your sake. It's just going to go in. Yeah, see, that's not quite going. This isn't long enough. All right, that's a set of Torx bits that I have for 3/8. This is, the shoulder of this is hitting here. So you're going to need something longer. These are the 4 inchers. You know, you can get away with the probably 2.5 inch ones they sell. But in any case, keep that in mind before you start if you're going to do this job. All right, next order of business, we need a 3/8 inch wrench. Or ratchet, I mean. And then let's see if we can get this to come out. Come on. Ah, there we go. They're only supposed to be 38 to 48 foot-pounds. That's it. So it's probably got a lot of Loctite from the factory on it. So we'll find out in a minute here. I mean, I could use my impact to get that out, but I don't want to do that. Yeah, it looks like it's loaded with Loctite. All right, so there's your mount. Okay, so this has a little concave in it. So I kind of showed you this is straight up and down on this bike. On some of the other bikes I've looked at, these are actually got a little curve to them. So, but this is going to go back perfectly straight up and down when we put it back. So there you go. You can see how much Loctite they put on that. And that's that white Loctite, which, if you've watched any of my older videos, a lot of times you need to put heat to it to break that crap free. Because it's that strong. It's crazy. All right, so before we do anything else, we're going to bring over our bag guard. So this is going to go here and right there on the back one. Okay, so now we got to take that top one out. And that can work with a regular short T45. Come on, there we go. So this one comes out. There we go. So that come out nice and easy. There we go. All right, so carefully take that out. And you see that? That's short with the washer. Now, when you looked at the unpacking of the video of this, you'll see that this came with the correct hardware. And you have spacer shims washers that go inside the frame. They're fatter. So let's do this first. Put this pulled here. Now, again, a nice bag of hardware. So they're longer to be able to reach through, you know, the new mounts. So you can see how much thicker that spacer is compared to the washer. So this actually goes here like that, okay? And then you're going to use a little bit longer bolt to get up in there, okay? That way you make sure you get through your mount and into the frame. So let's just make sure. Very good. And we'll check our bottom, make sure everything's good. Very good. Okay, so that'll work for that. Let me get some Loctite. See if it's dried up like last time. Hopefully it's not. Very good. Seems to be okay. Come here. Just double checking to make sure we're flowing. It's cold. Yep, very good. We're flowing. Yeah, so what I'm trying to do is trying to get this done because next week we're dropping, like really dropping. So, all right. Now, before I even do that, I just want to see. We might be able to use our stock torque bits because these things aren't really that thick. And it should give enough. Oh, yeah, that's more than enough bite. So I think we can go back with the stock torque bits. Let me just compare this. Just try to figure this out for you guys so you know going forward if you buy the same set how much difference we have. Yeah, I think that'll work. Let's see what we got. Bear with me. What I want to do is let me take this out. And let's see what we got here. So that's going to go there. If I remove this washer that they gave you that sat down in the frame, let's just see how long we are. If we're long enough to get a good bite, we'll probably stick with the stock. No, see that ain't, yeah. So we're not going to be able to use the top Torx bit, but I think we can stick with the bottom. Let's see. Yeah, I think that might work on the bottom. So let's just see. Again, I'm taking my time with this, so I'm not giving you disinformation, okay? I want to make sure we give you the correct information on it, putting it back together. All right, so I think we will go with the ones that they supplied. Yeah, I think we'll go with we're going to go with what they supplied. So what I want to do is I'm going to put some Loctite on here. Get it to flow. Come on. There we go. Again, you don't need a great deal because once you're screwing it in, it'll coat the threads, which is what you're after. So I'm going to screw that in by hand. And then what we're going to do, we're going to line up the bottom. Okay? And then we'll take the peg mount with the long replacement. Okay? Take that, and then let's get the proper Allen head that we need before I do anything else. Okay. Come here you go. They're a pain to get out of this blow molded case that comes with it. So I have to struggle with it to get it to come out. Come on. All right, let's see. Is this correct? Yeah. All right, so what are we at? 8mm? What is this? Yeah, it's an 8. So they're an 8mm is what they are. Okay, very good. All right, so now, again, we're going to put some blue Loctite. Come on, baby. Come on, flow. There you go. Again, down the threads like that. And then, again, we're going to run these in by hand. You guys know me. Don't ever take a chance on cross-threading. Now, let's get that started by hand. There we go. All right, very good. That can go back there. Set this to tighten. And we'll start running this in. So what I'm doing, I'm just going to go to snug because I do have to line up the mount. So that's that. And then we'll get this one. Going careful because I don't want to tear up the powder coat on the mount itself. All right, so now we got that started. So what I got to do now, we're going to line this up. We're going to line up the peg mount. We're going to set it exactly how it was coming off. Okay. Now basically they're straight up and down on the Sport Glide. All right, they are not pitched to the front of the back. All right. Now I'm going to grab my torque wrench. I'll probably just use my beam style one again because you guys know I prefer that over the clicker. And we will take it to probably 42 foot-pounds. You know, I like to go kind of in the middle. All right, where's it at? Oh, wrong box. You know, I added that extra box I showed you guys in a couple videos ago, and it's like trying to remember where I move my tools to. There we go. That's what we're after. And one beam style. And one adapter. Take it from 1/2 inch down to 3/8. That's what we're after. Now, let's see if this will reach or if we're going to need. We may need an extension, but hopefully it's long enough. Yep, very good. All right, so as you guys know, beam style, okay? So you see the 40 mark, that's 40 foot-pounds. I'm going to go just over that, okay? So that way you know. All right, here we go. Get some torque on there. There's 20. These I don't think are 38 to 48, so I'm just going to go to probably 30, I think, on this. 25, yep, that's good, 25. So we're 25 on that. I'll have to look and see if there's a torque spec, but I do not know for sure. All right, now, this is going to be the tricky part. I'm going to hold this level. Let me turn it just a little more towards the front. There we go. So that's straight up and down. So now I got to hold the peg mount while we're torquing, okay? So let's see what we got. Okay, so far so good. Come back to the top. Now it's good and snug. Now we'll start torquing. And 42. Perfect. There we go. So that's the bag guard on. That's how quick and easy that goes. All right, now we're going to double check the bag fitment before we do anything else. Okay, everything here is where it needs to be. All we got to do is check the bag fitment and then put the peg back on. So bear with me. Let me grab the bag. Make sure everything clears. It should. Again, you have this bike, you know how to put your bags on. Come on. Gotta get it lined up perfect. There we go. So that's on. Now, let's lock it in. Very good. All right. So that's on there. That's good. That'll protect the bags. All right. Now let me zoom back in. Come on. There we go. All right, so there's our peg mount. Now what we're going to do is put the peg assembly back together. Now, you remember I told you, you have a spring, a ball bearing, and the clip. So, you don't want to have to struggle. Make sure I got you. All right, so your spring goes there. Okay, there's your spring. Your ball bearing rests on top of that, like that. Okay? Here's the ball bearing. See it right there? Sitting on top. Now, what you're going to do, a lot of people struggle trying to put the back in. You don't do that. You take your clip, okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to slide the clip back over to the first detent. All right, now we got that on there. Now we're going to carefully slide it back to the second one, and now it's locked in. Okay, that way you can't lose the ball bearing or the spring. Everything's locked in place. And then all you have to do is force this back in, line up your hole. Okay, again, wiggle the peg if you have to. Oh, we gotta go up a little bit. Right there. Come on, baby. It's just a matter of getting this lined up. Come on. There we go. Wiggle it back and forth. Check it. Still locked in place. Very good. And then we pop our clip on. And this side's done. So, if I can get it, I guess I got to get it like this. I just don't want to lose the clip. Like I said, I don't have any spares. Well, I probably have them. I just don't know where the heck they're at. There it goes. All right, popped in. So, that side's done. That's it. That's how easy it is, all right? So what we're going to do, we're going to adjust the tools in the bike, and we're going to switch to the other side now. Because, you know, I like to do the whole thing if I can, and that was 17 minutes. So I'm going to stop you for a minute. All right, 2 minutes later, and we're back to do the other side. So let me get you in position. Again, we got to remove the bag. Let's get the bag off. And we set that at the back of the garage. Now, again, we're going to start with getting the peg, getting the mount, getting this mount, and then getting the saddlebag bracket on. So, get all my tools in place. Bring them back over here. Here's our nifty rag so we don't lose that damn ball bearing. Believe it or not, they sell that ball bearing. They keep them in stock for $2 a piece. Because people lose them all the time. From what I've been told. All right, let me unwrap this now, get this ready. Okay, here's the mount. Set this over here. It's quite breezy out today. Now, bring some tools over, some hardware. All right, so first thing we're going to do, I think, is get this peg off before I do anything else. Let me get on here again. So we're going to pull the clip. Get this to rotate though. It has rotated over time to the bottom. Come on. There we go. Okay. So now we're going to pull the clip. Come on, baby. Yeah, pop back in on me. Popped in and rotated. So, same thing. Let me pivot it. Get a hold of it. Get it back off. Almost. And we'll switch back to our screwdriver. And then we'll grab it with, whoop, go, I got lucky. It popped off, look where it went. It almost went for a ride. Landed on that. So that works out happily for me, otherwise I had these clips, I know I do, I just, where, I have no idea. So that's the key. All right, now, again, gonna wiggle the peg, get your pin out. And then again, we're going to cup this. Okay, you want to cup it and slowly pull it out. Like I said, you don't want to lose that ball bearing, otherwise your pegs will be floppy. And there we go. One ball bearing, one spring, and one peg. So I'm just going to leave that right there. Now, whoop, this already started coming with it, which is nice, helpful. This is like a spring-loaded clip. There we go. Actually, what I might do is just put that together right now. Slide the clip on, and it's ready to go back on. Come on. There we go. So, let's do this. Whoop. Completely missed. Let's try this again. Okay. Straight on. Let's go. There we go. All right, so that's back on there. So that's ready to slide in. So we're going to leave that right there. Now, let's get some torch bits. Get this other side done. That's the Allen heads. That's all right, this is torch. Here's my T45 for the top. Let's get that one out. Okay, yeah, that's been nice and easy. Okay, that's one. Now, go to the long torch. I pretty much have every tool you can think of in my garage here. Like I told you guys before, I do work for people for free. I don't charge for my labor. So I'm always helping people out. All right, and hopefully this bottom one comes. Come on, baby. Ah, there we go. Nice and easy. My big head's probably in the way, but is what it is. Again, it's that Torx. It's that white Loctite they put on there. Yeah. Nice and easy. Whew. All right, we got her loose. Now, yeah, I don't trust it. I've seen more people break bolts and stuff off because of that white Loctite from the factory. It's a terror. Trust me when I tell you. Thankfully, I've never broken a bolt, but I can tell you that I did have a screw strip out on me when I had my, what the hell was it? The Wide Glide, the 2011 Wide Glide. I was trying to take the side mount plate off, and I went with a rear mount plate that tucked up under the fender, and one of those screws stripped out on me. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. The head of it stripped out because of the white Loctite. So that was when I found out you get something like that, you gotta get a lot of heat on it. And basically what it does is it boils it, heats it up, and you can take it right apart. All right, so again, it's gonna mount straight up and down. So we're gonna do first, take our spacer, goes in the frame there. We're gonna have to hold that. Let me get some blue Loctite on this so I can start threading it in by hand. Come on, baby. There you go. Flow. Come on. There we go. And we got some blue Loctite there. Then we have this. And then we have our spacer. And again, we'll start this by hand. And now we'll just let it hang so we can start the bottom. Good enough. All right, now this one, get some Loctite on here. Come on, baby. It's like I said, it's got down in the upper 30s last night, so everything in the garage obviously is ice cold and just doesn't want to flow. All right, so that in there. Oh, I forgot I need the, now I need the 8mm. And then we'll run this in again by hand. lined up there. Okay, that's started by hand, and then we'll run them down. Set that back the other way. And I'll get it bottomed out and snug, not super tight, but just in place. There we go, that's that one. And then we'll get the top one. I could use my short ones probably for this, but since I have the long one out, we're just gonna go with the flow. And again, carefully, so I don't chew up the powder coat on these, because these are nice. They really did a good job. All right, so that's snug. Now, I'm gonna adjust you and check the peg mount. I don't think it's quite level. I gotta come back a little bit. So we're right here, okay? I know we have sun coming through the window, so it's a little bit warm. Very good. Now, this is not quite level, so I want to come back a little bit. There we go. Perfect. Now I'm going to snug it. Hold it in place while we're snugging. I don't want it to turn. There we go. And then this one. And again, these top ones, I'm just taking the 20 foot-pounds, okay? And I see I forgot my washer. Yep, I wanted to put the washer on that top one, so guess what? This top's coming back off. Factory has that washer on the outside that I want to go with. All right, the spacer's going to stay. Well, don't mind my big head. I'm reaching for a washer. There we go. There we go. That got it. And again, back in by hand. Get that snugged up. All right, let me get the torque wrench. Again, I'm doing 20 to 25 on the top because I don't know the torque specs. Bottom one is definitely going to 38 to 40. So we're going to do the same thing again right here. And come on. Get it. There you go. All right. That's that. And then we'll get on the bottom one here. Come on. There we go. Make sure that doesn't pivot. Good. Very good. That works. All right. So that's done. That's mounted. Now we're just going to put the peg back in. Again, it's the same setup. Just got to get it to carefully go in. Wiggle it up and down as you're going in. And then line up the pin. Ooh, that went nice and easy, didn't it? Or did it? Yep. Somehow, I got the peg mount upside down, so the pin's going to be towards the front. It is what it is. Because it sits down in a recess. The clip does. All right, now push this down. There we go. Okay, and there we go. So that's perfect. That's good. Good to go. And that's how quick and easy it is. How long does this side take? This side took 12 minutes. First side took 17 because I was digging for tools. Back's other side took 12 minutes. And again, you know, it's not that hard of a job. You buy them, you get them, you can put them on, not a problem. So let me get down in place, get lined up here. Bag is on, locked in place, and there you go. So that right there is how you do saddlebag guards on your Sport Glide. Again, simple, painless, easy job. You know, a half hour, 30 minutes, provided you got all your tools. Okay? So again, you need at least a 2.5 inch long T45 Torx, 2.5 inch long 8mm Allen head. If your kit comes with the same hardware mine came with, all right, your top one's just a straight up T45, and again 8mm Allen head on the top on this kit. This kit did come from Amazon, so I will put the link in the description again. So if you're looking for the same kit, Black Friday's coming. They had a sale in October. That's when I bought these. But Black Friday is coming, and you know, maybe you can catch a sale like I did. I can't remember how much it was off. It was, I think, probably $7 or $8 off, I think it was. Maybe a little more. So, but either way, they're worth it. It's enough clearance to help protect your legs should something happen. Protect the bag. So, you know, it gives the bag a little protection, not a great deal. So, but is what it is. All right, as always, thanks for watching my videos. I do appreciate you people. Please don't forget to hit like and subscribe and make a comment if this video has helped you out. All right, and again, torque 38 to 48. Here I just did to 25, both of them, because I don't know what the torque spec is. If I got to crunch it a little more, I will, but I think it's plenty snug enough. I don't think they're supposed to be anything over like 25 to 30 foot-pounds anyway. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. I don't know what it's going to be. Pretty much all the Willie G stuff is off this bike, except for this is going to come soon. I don't know what I'm going to replace it with. I don't want to go stock because they're a point of failure, but they do sell a lot of aftermarket ones on Amazon, and I think that that's what I'm going to go with. I'm probably going to go with a diamond cut, black and silver diamond cut for it. But other than that, I think this bike is Willie G free, except for the hand grips. And like I said, I am keeping this one medallion on it because that's the Custom Dynamics air horn that the guy put on, and I am keeping it. All right, with that said, again, I will see you guys in the next video. Take care of yourselves, and we'll talk to you then.